10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to Idiot Blog 413. I am your host, Idiot Burns, and today we are listening to Alt Lien Infamous. ATLIENINFAMOUS. Atlien Infamous. Like Atlanta? Alien? Infamous? Not quite sure 100%. Maybe his initials are ATL. Can't tell ya. Couldn't know for sure. But I will say this. I do know he is hailing out of Atlanta, Georgia, so it's most likely Atlanta Alien Infamous. ATLien Infamous. Sweet. I can't say any names correctly because, I'm tongue-tied pretty easily. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. If everything's simulcasting, looks like we're on YouTube. Are we on BandLab? Are we on Facebook? Looks like we're on BandLab, YouTube, and let's see. There we go. Multiple platforms. Let's go ahead and hop in to the YouTube spot and the BandLab spot on my app. So this artist is a beat maker, producer, whatever you'd like to call it. Go check him out. He's got collections where he keeps his forkable beats. So you can go get down, get funky with ATLien Infamous Productions out of Atlanta, Georgia. Here on Facebook, or here on BandLab, here on the internets. BandLab has a new contest, and a couple of them. One of them is make a beat and have the stems in there and don't add vocals. It will be for whoever wins that will be the next month's beat. And then the other one is it's the next month's beat or the next month's forkable tune or whatever it is. It's the contest will be done over that winning selection. So it's got to be an instrumental with the stems available, and then you get to be part of the process of the contest, which is cool because I pitched that idea to them quite a while back and they said they liked it over a year ago or around a year ago. So that's cool. And then the other contest is based on an internet kind of phenomenon where somebody remade or made a sea shanty style tune. I think they remade an old traditional tune and made it into something relevant to the pandemic or the vaccine or whatever it is. And it kind of got viral online, and Rick Selva approached me, and that's how I got on cue that there were contests again. I thought maybe they were going to be done doing it or just take a whole month off. They took till 11/20 off in their time. They took until I think today off, so that's cool. I opened up the app and it says, "See, you wear this new contest." I was like, "Whoa, there's new contests!" But that was after Rick already told me. But sea shanty, I started writing some lyrics to something he wrote, but it has this little bleep, 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 beep, beep, bleep, beep, beep metronome in the background. So we're gonna have to redo the guitar tracks, get some mandolins. Maybe we can get some banjo, from Geno 81 or one of the other guys I've featured who's really good at the traditional style of music and plays traditional instruments. We'll see if that can happen. That would be awesome. Get as many different people on that whole thing as possible. As many of the people from the, Fantastical Society of Idiot Folks to just hop in and mesh together. This production, by the way, is called Demons, this beat, if you will. And this artist does invite you to come work on top of his beats. He says, hey, looking for rappers if anyone wants to jump on a beat. I got my own wave and sound, and he totally does. You'll notice that. Yes, dude, I'm honored to choose you. And thank you for saying bless you, man. That's true sentiment right there. And he says if anybody wants to jump on, do it. And he said he's got his own wave and his own sound, and that's totally true. You'll hear it as we go through this music that he's got like a Kodak, if you will, or I wouldn't say it's a set style, but I would say he has his own sound, So just like when Eddie Van Halen is doing his thing, it's Eddie Van Halen. You can kind of hear it instantly. The energy kind of comes out. His energy gets into the music. And that's true a lot of us artists. Our energy goes into the music based on how we create, think about things, how our fingers work, and all that kinds of stuff. And we get put into our music, and it's apparent. Whether it's certain presets or sounds or setups we like, whether it's our flavor and tastes in music, or whatever it is that influences our music in these certain directions, we kind of have the sound. Even if, like an old bassist in one of my bands that I played with for years, if he blind listens to one of my songs, like his wife plays it, he'll be like, is this Chris Burns? He'll just know, because even if I'm doing a totally different style, there's a nuance to it that just lends my personal character into the music, and you'll totally tell when you go through this music that he has that going on. And he says, I think I already mentioned this, but I'll say it again, all of his forkable beats are in his collections. He's got 10 collections, so that could be as many as 500 beats. If I go in and look, let's see. He says it's 4 collections right now, live. 50, 51, 50, and 7. So he's got like almost 160 beats that are forkable. That's a lot of beats, okay? Now I got forkable songs, probably got thousands, right? I probably got like 1,000 at least. But of beats that are certainly hip-hop or R&B styled, I probably only have like 115 myself. So this guy definitely working hard, working at it, getting it going. Yeah. I feel like I featured him before, but my memory sucks sometimes, and I used to smoke a lot of pot. So if I did, I forgot. But definitely worth a second feature if this is a second feature, and definitely worth a feature if this is his first feature, no matter what. There we go. This is Thuggin'. So I listened to a few of them before I started. Now I'll be listening to some that maybe I haven't heard, so that'll be cool. Go ahead and close this one thing down and keep it going this way. Plug my phone in so it doesn't die. I'm gonna go ahead and go do that live now. Kind of jump out there and say, I'm live now. and hop around. Since this is on simulcast, it is available to watch on youtube.com/idiotburns, facebook.com/Christopher Burns, and bandlab.com/idiotblog. Well, that's kind of cool. Aliens right there. Just got sucked out into space. We're gonna do a bit of enjoying this music because I'm in kind of a laid-back mood. Kind of like my belly's kind of full. I ate a bunch of ribs. I ate a bunch of ribs. I got one right here to show you guys. How red these ribs are. Purely smoke. This is a pig's ribs from their back, otherwise referred to as baby back ribs. Today, got up at 8 in the morning, went out to my garage port, took my old barbecue, which my parents got me. It was like a barbecue with a smoker on the side, which is, let's say this is the barbecue area, right? It was about this big, about that big. On the side here, there's another small barbecue where you can put coals in and then wood on top of it, and that wood will smoke and then go through and out a vent. Well, paint was coming off. Holes were already forming in the metal from rust and burning so hot. It was kind of a cheaper model that couldn't quite handle. It wasn't going to last more than 5 uses. But since it was bought at Home Depot, they got a great return policy. So I brought it back. I got another one. I had another one that was brand new, but it was already rusting because when they built it, they put it out in the weather. The Seattle weather is rain, and it was already getting water all over it and rusting, and I hadn't even used it yet. So I brought it back and I said, hey, can you give me store credit plus some kind of credit or something so I can get a better grill? And they said, no, we can't give you another credit, but what we can do is we can give you the 150 store credit for this, what you bought it for, since you got your receipt. And then we can give you, if you get something else, we can give you that at like a discount. So they gave me $40 off that. So a $300 version of that, which is now like this big, much thicker metal, and then it has a side smoker that's like double the size, everything. And I smoked 2 baby back ribs, about this big, about 40 ribs covered in meat. Oh, yeah. So I was out there. So I got home like 10 o'clock with some ribs, with some other groceries. And 11 o'clock, I take the ribs out of the bag and I season them up. Covered them in paprika, garlic powder, a couple different rubs I use. And getting it all caked on. And then after I do that, I let those kind of seep in to the wetness on the ribs and kind of become like almost like a liquid. All the spices kind of melt in to the meat. And I go out there and I get a bunch of coals, a big chunk of coals, like I would say like 5 pounds of coals, half a 10-pound bag, or so, or a third of a 15-pound bag of coals, the little briquettes, fired up, and I splash them with the explosion sauce, with the fire starter, the liquid fire starter, twisted fire starter, and get those stoked and with a nice ashy layer and as a set of coals, and I put those into this side here. And there's a hole that goes from that, and then a pipe over here in the far side. So all the smoke comes out of that area, goes through, and comes out. And then I take and I put the ribs on there for about 3.5 hours. Take the ribs off, put half a stick of butter on them, on each one, brown sugar, honey, apple cider vinegar, so butter, all that stuff, and wrap them up tight and put them in there for 2.5 more hours at around 250 degrees. Smoke pouring over them, but that doesn't matter because, it's just temperature when it's in that aluminum foil. No smoke is getting to it. And then I take them out of that, and that's called the braise, right? And I take them out of that, and I lay them down, and I cover them in barbecue sauce. And then I bring them back in there and did another 1.5 hours of getting covered in smoke. And that's 3.5 hours, 2.5 hours, and 1.5 hours. So it's 7.5 hours of just sitting out by the barbecue. This jacket smells like smoke, like mesquite wood, burning mesquite wood. And came out with these sweet ribs. Dropping meat on the floor. That'll be a snack for the dogs. Making a mess in my vlog room. Here we go. Let the dogs find that back there. There you go, guys. But, yeah. A little bit spicy, so the kids were like, oh, it's spicy. But it was good. Really good. Damn good. Oh, yeah. Braided my goatee. Well, actually, I didn't. My wife did. The kids thought it was hilarious. Because you could see the shape of my head. Plus, it was a braid. Kids are. One of the funniest part of the days is the kids were totally entertained, not by the barbecue, but by the box it came in. All day long, they drew lines on the inside like a bunch of windows. It was their train. They could get in it and be riding it. They're riding in a train. Kids will really get a world of fun out of a cardboard box. It's quite amazing. There you go. That's for you, Ron Swan Song. Trying to make this blog disgusting. I don't know if you're here or not, but if you're here, that burp's for you. For you. Oh, hiccups. Oh. I already had like 7 or 8 of these ribs, so let's see. I had 5 of these ribs plus like part of two others that my kids didn't finish. Oh, yeah, I had like 7. This is the 8th one. Oh my god. There's like 15 left sitting in the, maybe 12 or so sitting left. I was gonna have to go away in the fridge. But man, there's some kind of different kind of drunkenness that happens when you eat that much meat. You get kind of food high, if you will. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I like this one. All the smoke. All the smoke! Yeah! I like it because it's about all the smoke on my meat. What are the Seahawks? The Seahawks is a American football team out of Seattle, where I live. The Seattle Seahawks. They have players like Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Chris Carson, just to name a few. And they have they're a great team. They did not make it to the Super Bowl this year, or the Grand Championship of American football, but they did make it into the playoff season and lost in the first game. They had a pretty good season, but they also had, I don't know. This is a player named Steve Largent from when I was a kid, number 80, Steve Largent. And Steve Largent was a receiver, so the quarterback throws the ball, and the receiver catches it and tries to run with the ball until he gets tackled. Well, he was the receiver with the most yards in a season until this season when DK Metcalf, a second-year player, broke his record. Russell Wilson throwing to DK Metcalf was a blast to watch. It's a sports team, so if you're asking, that's what it is. My shirt does say that I'm a big fan of him. It says that I'm a big fan of him since even all the way back in the 80s, Steve Largent days. I have a couple of Seahawks shirts. And if you ever see me wearing this hat, this is a Seahawks hat. See, Seattle. I love haters. I love motivation. That's my Seahawks hat. Let me put it on. There you go. Everything about me right now screams 1980s style Seahawks lover. And I am a big fan of the Seahawks. I'll tell you that. There you go. That's the end of all the smoke. This is Joker 2. Ron Swan song. Are you on the blog? Mr. Ron Swan song. It's the morning blog, and I'm eating this meat so you can say it's disgusting. Licking my fingers. That's the way you do it when you're eating ribs. I love the process of eating ribs. It brings me back to my Neanderthal Cro-Magnon days. Eating ribs when you're sad. Eating ribs when you're happy. Turn this one up a little bit. That's good bass. Do. I don't know what Luella's doing because I can't see through walls anymore. I lost my X-ray vision. You can hear the dogs. The dogs are barking. Don't know what she's doing. She's probably watching some TV, playing with the box, or playing with an iPad, I mean, something like that. You never know. She was giving Julianne bunny ears earlier. That's what my little girl, my 3-year-old girl Luella was doing. She's always doing something different, you know? Well, not always, but she's often doing something different. So, the time is coming. The robot will probably be coming back. I would say Idiot Blog 500. My wife and I were talking about it just recently. But, here's the top part of the head right here. If you haven't seen it in a while, that's what the top part of the head looked like. There we go. He needs some work. He needs some cosmetic surgery. He needs hot glue surgery. If you don't know what that is, that's like it's like a gun that you use to squirt the glue out. You dispense this hot glue, and when it cools, it sticks everything together. It needs it for its ears. Needs it to get the eye area attached to the lower area, which is in this cupboard here. My wife says, "Robot's coming back for the 500th vlog. It's all up to you. You gotta want to do it, Julianne. You gotta want to sit on the floor and do this thing with your arm." How am I gonna do an hour of the blog? I don't know. I don't really know. Gotta have like a full, like hour-long planned out interview. I better start getting ready for that now. Rebuilding the robot. And all kinds of other shit. All kinds of other stuff. Class of 2000 tassel over here. So yeah, Ricardo Silva earlier today sent me this track. T800, that's a Terminator thing. T800 versus T500. Yeah, right now it's Tuesday, 11/19. Tomorrow is inauguration day. I'm afraid to wake up. I don't want to know what's going to happen. I bet you it's all peaceful and nobody even shows up except Antifa. If anybody isn't aware of this, there was a run on the Capitol, and people believe it was conservatives that ran on the Capitol. But normally when conservatives assemble, a whole bunch of Antifa shows up. And this time, Antifa didn't show up. But in truth, in the later investigation, we found that a lot of the people that were arrested were Antifa people, and their arrest photos show them wearing Trump garb, Trump clothing. And what that tells us is that Antifa showed up, they made a run on the Capitol, and they brought in other people who were also known Trumpers or Trumpians. And those people also followed them into the Capitol building, and it created a hysteria, and it was manufactured by Antifa. There are multiple web pages and videos online that will tell you exactly who did this and was involved in this. They showed up in busloads. Antifa did. Whole busloads. Pretending to be Trump people. Integrated into the crowd. Didn't create arguments. Had a set of rules to follow. Then stormed the Capitol. And all that was Antifa. Now, it wasn't 100% the people were Antifa, but the instigation of that type of action was done by Antifa, and a small select group of non-Antifa members followed. And most of the calls for arrests by the FBI has been for the true Trumpers. There's a whole big thing going on. Trump was probably gonna break down and bust apart factions of the FBI, CIA, and NSA if he was reelected. Chances are that's not going to happen now, because now we got big old Joe Biden, longtime politician, and he's going to be doing all the things his buddies want, and he's going to be doing all the things that those old cronies have always been doing. And those old cronies that were bowing to Trump out of fear, the weakest of the weak, definitely have switched right on over to supporting Biden. And a bunch of people who were pretending to be Republicans in the Senate and House of Democrats, but really just wanted to stay long-term representatives of the people, have found. I support both of them under the right circumstances. Joey Esther asks, do you support Biden or do you support Trump? Well, I support my president no matter who they are. It doesn't mean that I blindly follow or anything like that. And when I say support, I do not donate any money to these people. These people do not deserve my money at all. And then lastly, the reason why I support Trump is because he's more of a businessman. He's not as easily bought off. Now he's not being bought off. If he's being seduced and manipulated, it's by people that he brings intentionally on his own volition or of his own making, brings into his cabinetry, and then they have been lobbied and bought off, and then they try to make convincing arguments to him. But if he finds that kind of stuff out, he kicks them out, and he tries to keep his game as straight as possible. He's been lured into a lot of things, and he's been shit talked the entire time because, honestly, he was someone to be scared of because he wasn't wanting to be bought off, and secondly, he had desires for this country, honest desires, like any average American and patriot would have, for us to succeed and have a support system for the people. But he can only do so much, and his words were always biting him in his butt. And no matter how hard he tried, no one gave him his due. It wasn't like the first 2 seasons of his TV show, The Apprentice, where he was popular and he was charismatic and new and fresh. This is many years later. We've seen him for many years, and he was not a politician, and he got into the politician's world because he had a smart team to get him elected. All those people were attacked viciously during the time while he was in office, some of them being found guilty of just misstating things while in court proceedings. He had to give some of them reprieve from their sentences of misstatements in court of law. Not even a true court of law, just basically witch hunts where you can get in trouble for misstating something or stating something incorrectly and then saying a different version of it later. Not necessarily a lie, but something that's ensnarable. So yeah, he's definitely had his issues. Is he colluding with Putin? No. He's the opposite of that. Even Putin would tell you, this guy, we tried. He's kind of like Putin, where he's not easily persuaded. He's kind of like Putin, where he would be a dictator if he could. And he would say he's doing it for the good of the people, and he would probably defraud an election to win it himself. Not that he did. He obviously didn't, because he didn't win the election. But maybe that's how he won the first one. We can't really know. We don't really get to see behind the curtain. That's how I feel about politics. But I think he is definitely somebody that is misunderstood, disrespected grossly because they fear him. And he may have just been a cog in the machine. But I'll tell you what, right now you're seeing some really nasty stuff going on. Some really nasty politics. So people can make it run on the Capitol. I'm all for it. Go for it, guys. Make your run on the Capitol. Scare the shit out of those politicians. Make them fear doing the wrong things. Make them fear their everyday activity of throwing the common man under the bus for the benefit of their wealthy pockets. Make them fear the halls in which they create laws that do nothing but inflict pain on man. And really, I'm not a big fan of politicians. They need all that political system needs a whole new makeover. And chaos is really the only way to get that going. We need to Go back to the Constitution. Get back to the Constitution. That Constitution is the fabric of our nation, and they're punching holes in it, and now they're getting to a spot where they're overlapping the holes, and pretty soon there's not going to be anything left. No freedom of speech, no right to bear arms. Those are the first two amendments. The first two things our forefathers wrote down was freedom of speech. And, they really have a reason for why they hate Trump. They really do. Think of it like this. They're an elite group of people, a lot of them related through business interaction. A lot of them lobbied by the same people, making some of the same promises to the same rich scumbags out there controlling the corporations, all for some undefined reason, mostly pertaining to financial gains, not related to the moral fabrics of society, not related to getting people to find Christ or anything like that. Their mission, and not related to even looking into the future and doing the right thing for the future generations. It's all about profits today, profits tomorrow. And so the politicians are controlled by the people desiring those profits by payoffs, buy-offs, donations. The lining of their pockets dictates how they operate as puppets. They're just like puppets. And here's the politician. Here's the man with all the money. And then he's over here stomping around on the little man, the average Joe. And there's really no way to escape it until you find some guy who's like over here. He's got his own business, and he's like, no, I'll just be my own politician, and I'll just take all my businesses and let my kids run them because I trust them, and I'll do whatever I want, and I won't take a dollar, and I'll just do the thing that I think is best for the future of America, this and that. And they hated it. They hated it because he wasn't doing the normal thing that they were doing, and he was making what they do look bad. And so they did everything they could to smear his persona to make it look like he wasn't doing that. Because guess what? Those news companies are owned by just another one of those big guys that lobbies. Another one of those big guys owns all those news companies. There's only really 3 news companies out there in the United States and then, you know what? 2 of them aren't even owned by people from the United States. So their desires do not align with the United States. All those news agencies, why do they say the same thing? Because these reporters are paid $150,000, $200,000 a year. They don't want to lose that job. What are they going to go after they get kicked out of being that broadcasting person and working all the way up there for 15 years doing all these interviews in the rain? What are they going to do? Go back, be a teacher, make $40,000, $50,000 a year, make a quarter of the money, fifth of the money? So they don't want to lose that job. They like the fame, they like the notoriety, they like the money. So if you can crush down everybody else to a small level, and there's a very limited number of high-paying jobs, then it's really easy to control those people in the high-paying jobs, because they know that if they lose this one, chances are they'll never get another one. And if you put your faith in God, you'll probably just keep going up and up and up in life. But if you put your faith in money, you'll probably get to a certain spot and start doing things that are unholy and unruly. And that's the politicians. And I really do think that he was an unpuppetable politician. They couldn't reach into him and control him because he already achieved what he wanted and had security and had investments and was in his near to end of his life. And he, like he said, for many, many years, I'm not interested in politics. I hate it. The only reason I'd ever do it is because it would be because it's a dirty job and it's a hard job and it's a stressful job. The only reason I'd ever do it is if I think that the country needed me to do it. And then eventually he did do it. So it's more than likely that's why he did it. He thought the fucking politicians were too corrupt and this was the time. The thing is if they do go through with this impeachment and they impeach him, he won't be able to become the president again. We'll be isolated from our best chance of recovery from Biden, which will probably be him in 2024, to be honest. The only other route is if we're going to vote for a libertarian, but libertarians got less than 5% of the vote this year. Less than 5%. How are you going to elect somebody that only gets 5%? They're just going to put up two party candidates that are just the same old white bread bullshit we always get. So, look for Hillary to run as a Republican against Biden in 2024. Fuck. I swear. It's going to be about that bad of a choice in 2024. It's going to get worse every year. If you thought it was bad in 2016, just you wait. If you thought it was bad in 2020, just you wait. I don't know how we got on this subject, but we did. We got on this subject. And it's for real, so fuck. It's what we're stuck with. Dude, yeah. I saw that ATL Leon. Infamous said, big fan of Metcalf, man. He's built like a tank. Dude, he is a tank. He's a fucking charging tank, dude. There's that play he did earlier in the year where they got the ball from our offense, and then he went from the other side of the line all the way over and got this guy before he made a touchdown, and then we kept him from a point at that time. That was amazing. These ribs. Killer. I gotta go a little hotter on these ribs. I gotta get a thermometer in the barbecue thermometer. It's digital and super accurate. One of those new ones. But yeah, Rick Silva, Ricardo, and sent me this tune. It's really cool. The lyrics I put to it were good. We all collab while we're here on BandLab, isolate in our rooms as we're making these tunes. Enjoying our forks, we are certainly all dorks. Isolate in our rooms as we are singing these tunes. We found this app amongst all the internet's crap. We are mastering music. We think we're all quite amusing. We all collab while we're here on BandLab, isolate in our rooms as we're making these tunes. Enjoying our forks, we are all certainly dorks. Isolate in our rooms as we are singing these tunes. We found this app amongst all the internet's crap. We are mastering music. We think we're all quite amusing. The shanty tune. I think it's good. I think it's funny. We'll see what Rick thinks. Go check now, see what he said. What'd you say, Rick? What'd you say? What'd you say? Did you listen to it yet? Somebody asked me, how did you get so many followers? I just doing crazy amounts of music in all genres, all originals, forking a lot of people's music, and doing a blog on YouTube featuring artists from BandLab, plus being promoted by BandLab themselves in hundreds of different ways. I guess there's was it Ice Cold Beats? Okay, no, I thought that was somebody else, a drummer on here. Dak, Yak, Jack, Pack, your bags, the flag, it's crazy. Get on back, Jack, yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, you know. Get on back, Jack. Don't touch that flag, you know. So here's some lyrics I did. I recorded the song and I'll be posting it in the next couple minutes here. The Last Storm, or Paradise's Paradigm. In parentheses, Paradise's, oops, capital P, Paradise's Paradigm. Okay, here we go. Go back here. Back, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack. Dude, heck yeah, dude. Reminds you of Julio Jones or Andre Johnson? Hell yeah. Hey, man, how old are you? How old are you, ATL? I was just wondering. Just curious. You seem well developed musically, so what's this X-Files track? The X-Files was like in the 90s, dude. I'm just gonna guess you're at least 30, but I could be wrong. You could be like 22 years old. I don't fucking know. I just don't know. You can't tell sometimes. And I'm just playing the music. I'm not browsing the page itself at this moment. I see you like a lot of my music, which really is important to me. So I kind of try to feature people out of the selection of people that like my music and appreciate my work. Let me go double check something else here real quick. Pop down into something. Do I know how to play tabla? Yeah, I've played two different sizes of tabla that a drummer friend of mine had in his collection. But I know how to play it, but I'm not a master of it. You know, I'm not like somebody who could I couldn't necessarily take a guitar, like do it like I do my guitar and just take a riff and just create something. But that being said, if I had a tabla, I would use it, you know. I would use it in rap beats. I'd use it in all kinds of stuff. It's like a musical drum thing in my mind. It's a musical hand drum kind of thing. I've seen people do things with tablas that are pretty cool. You know, it's kind of like having it's almost like a more complex version of like a congo or a bongo. Slightly more musical version of those, you know. Kind of reminds me of like the African talking drum, which I have played that. So I played a lot of different world instruments, but I've never become a master of any of them. Just the guitarra. So this next song, let me read you these lyrics. The Last Storm, Paradise's Paradigm, and I'm going to publish this here in a little bit, maybe while I'm on the blog even. Sexual Tension, whoa. Ropes and Chains. Twisted Steel, Leather Donut. Okay. In this storm, life hides away. The world's made new. In a day. In this epic storm. True to form, there's a price to pay. The whole world's in decay without reform. Run around, people living in chain. Not a place for the sane. Run into the ground. Past mistakes, peace was a dream. World cracking at the seam. Past dictates. In this storm, the chorus now. In this storm, end of time. In this storm, Paradise's paradigm. Next verse. A curse came alive. Power took control. Mankind sold its soul. The truth is so contrived. It won't be easy for the next wave, born into the era of the slave. Politics are sleazy. Won't find truth unless you pray to God. Everyone will say you're odd, and where's the proof? You can't be free, your hands so tired, body bent and rewired, man on bended knee. Chorus. In this storm, end of time. In this storm, Paradise's paradigm. Third verse, after a solo. The storm endures for 1,000 years. Endless lament and tears, impossible cures. What you know was once foretold. As the whole world goes cold, we move slow. You give your life to find some warmth. As the world transforms, learn to live by the knife. Love by the word, give in to Christ. Or your genes are spliced and the codes are blurred. In this storm, end of time, in this storm, Paradise's paradigm. We can't rewind, end of time, we cannot find Paradise's paradigm. That's the lyrics. Contests are back, it says on BandLab. That cracks me up. So I'm going to get uploading on that. Yeah, I'm going to call it Paradise's Paradigm, The Storm, Rock, Save. Just leave there, look for apocalyptic scenes. I like this image. I'm going to use it. That was a cool beat. Nice. Select more. There we go. Go more. Hit that button. Hit this button. Go through the process. Done, done, done. Done. Boom. Zoom. Zoom. Oh, I like this kind of style beat. Ops. It's like a lady with a couple different guns in her hand. What? It's really trying to tell me the contests are back for sure. Lost, name of this track. I'm gonna escape out of here for a second. Seems like this thing's moving slower than hell. Doop, 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 doop. Open it back up again. Let it do a refresh. Let it tell me that the contests are back again. Live videos. Oh no, Phil Spector's dead. That's sad. "32 years old. I just saw the answer. I'm sorry, man. I was doing something else for a second. Heck yeah. It's nice to just listen sometimes. This is definitely a listening blog. Everybody's catching one of these beats and feels like, man, I should do something over one of these, which I feel like I might want to do something over one of. I kind of want to remix some of these and do like a distortion guitar to them. Dun, 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 dun. You mind if I do that? What do you think? Should I do that? I did that with Heretic Beats. Now I'm feeling the calling again. Now let's see if I can get this to not be... What does it say? It sometimes does this thing. It goes... It has like an error. Corrupted. File corrupt. Like, what? I just did everything right and imported the file. Why is it corrupt? And I just close my app and come back and it's usually fine. It's like, oh, that's so weird. Pound or hashtag P-A-R-I-D-I-S-E-S. Paradises. Hey man, the capital was lost. Capital P-A-R-A-D-I-S-E-S. Paradises paradigm. Lyrics added to Winter Storm. Enjoy. Allow forks, because why not? Maybe someone will want to sing harmonies or something crazy. Galactic. My favorite weed strain was Galactic Glue. It was Gobstopper and Gorilla Glue number 4 put together. That's my favorite. My favorite. If I could find Galactic Glue dabs, oh man, I was in heaven for a day till that gram was gone. I miss smoking, I miss toking, I miss getting high all day long. So, you go to finish a song, and it's all good. And then you hit Edit Mastering, and then you click the one, and then you really quickly go back in there, and you hit Publish. If when you go back into there, it doesn't show Edit Mastering again, when you hit Publish, it won't go onto the feed until that master is finished. So if you keep clicking it, hitting refresh, and wait for the Edit Master button to reappear, then you hit Publish, it will populate to the top. But let's say someone's following, most people, let's say they're following around 1,000 people. Let's say the average is 1,000 people. I mean, anywhere between 500 to 1,500 people, right? If you hit Edit Master and then you hit Publish, and it takes 10 minutes for it to finish mastering, it will all of a sudden appear 10 minutes below with all these other songs on top of it. For most people, that won't be a big deal, but for some people, that's a big deal. So if you want it to appear at a certain time in a certain place in a certain area in the feed, you have to wait for when you go into that setting where it shows Edit Master, revisions, and publish and all that. You have to wait for that Edit Mastering to show back up again after you select a new master. Little pro tip there. Then when you go to publish it, it will just publish right away, right off, right the right way. About to be publishing this track here. Let's see what the live video's saying. we're approaching the 1 hour mark here. Feels like we are, at least. Gotta go to YouTube to find out, to be honest. Oh yeah, past the hour. How cool. Can I beatbox? The bass isn't good. I'm a drummer, so I could probably beatbox pretty good compared to somebody that doesn't really have rhythm or whatever. But are my sounds amazing? Would I like record myself beatboxing all day long? Probably not. I like this one. It's got like a jazzy feel to it. Alright, we'll let the next track take us out. And I'm going to go ahead and pop on over there. Publish this song. There we go. Publishing my song. Next track's going to take us out. Thank you everybody for coming out, listening to ATLien. Infamous. You can find them at bandlab.com/ATLIENINFAMOUS. The link is in all of the places I broadcast. I appreciate everybody for coming out, the discussions, the subjects, the chat, all that. I really do appreciate it. Even the people that are calling me a dickhead, I don't care. My head's a giant dick. My head's a giant spermiating dick. Okay, whatever. Don't say stuff like that, Chris. Making the blog disgusting. But alright. Whatever. Call me whatever you want. I'll just embellish it and I'll make it seem like I don't care. Because I don't. Because I really... Look at me. I don't care. Call me whatever. It will never bug me. Alright, so that being said, everybody, I appreciate you coming out. Make sure to support your local artists. Keep having fun on BandLab. Keep doing it to it. You know, we are music. We are metal. We are rap. We are whatever genre we feel like, whatever day. Rap and rock are to go together like clay. Smooth. Alright, that's just me. That's just something stupid coming out of my head. But I think it's true. So keep on being groovy, being fun. Catch y'all on the motherfucking flip side. Look at that spaceman dance. He's got a snake in his pants. He's swirling and whirling in the milkshake on the moon. You know what I mean. Look at that spaceman dance. He's doing the moonwalk like he can. He's crazy. It's Sector 8 by ATL Infamous. Oh yeah. ATLien Infamous. Oh yeah. Out in space, this solar race, it's just our pace. Light speed ahead or you're dead. Light speed ahead or you're dead. Or you're dead.